cut, and we're going to be very snappy with this. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from my Joy Online, and it says, I am sad presidency is at the forefront of doing unconstitutional things. Domelevo on Supreme Court ruling. Now, yesterday when the ruling came out, we talked about it. Now, the follow-up is very simple. Daniel Yawo Domelevo has been speaking. Now, he's very sad, but one thing is very clear. Daniel Yawo Domelevo was hounded out of office by an arrogant, selfish president whose only interest is to put family and friends in very sensitive position for a very comfortable retirement. We were told that any money that was borrowed in the country, Data Bank made a lot of money siphoned into the pockets of his own cousin, Ken Oforiatta. My brother, my sister, Daniel Yawo Domelevo was investigating a $1 million flight from the coffers of this nation by an outfit known as Kroll and Associates. At the time that the president felt so uncomfortable, he was a thorn in the flesh of the ruling government. And they found a dirty way, very irresponsible way of kicking Daniel Yawo Domelevo out of power. Many people have spoken about Domelevo. When he was in office, his doors were always opened. He didn't put any color on any human being or tag or label. Every Ghanaian was seen as a Ghanaian with equal opportunities and access to his office. He might not agree with everybody, but he respected every opinion. This was a man who wanted to live by the mantra, the fake mantra of the fake president, that he was going to fight and restore some decency in our coffers by protecting the public purse. Yawo Domelevo was forced to go on leave. An independent outfit. We had the dirty hands of the dirty president, my brother, my sister, into the affairs of the Auditor General. And he was kicked out. We remember when Yawo Domelevo made a lot of noise. This is unlawful. This is unlawful. But they had the power. So the executive could do just anything. No wonder for several years, the Parliament of Ghana is nothing but a rubber stamp of the executive. They kicked Domelevo out. This was in 2020. 3 years down the line, it took CSOs to go to court and sue the Attorney General and the Republic of Ghana under a president who claims to be a lawyer. Yet only ghosts have seen his certificate of law. I'm ashamed of this president. I'm ashamed of the presidency of Ghana. And at the same time, I bow down my head in shame. Now Yawo Domelevo says, I am very, very sad that the presidency is at the forefront of doing unconstitutional things. In fact, these are the people who call themselves learned friends. When they meet each other, they call each other learned colleagues because they know the law and we don't know the law. So if you so much are a touted lawyer and you go out doing unconstitutional things, if I were you, out of decency, I will resign. But the shameless president we have, the shameless presidency we have, they will come with a plethora of alibis. They would make a lot of noise. They would want every Ghanaian to believe that everybody is wrong and they are the only people who are right. I can't wait for this president to be history. I can't wait to meet with this president face to face. Look at him in the eye and call him a traitor. In fact, we historians are not even surprised at the behavior of this president. His grandfather was also behaving the same way. His father came in and he was graced with a coup d'etat. They chased him out of this country because of corruption and mismanagement and selfishness. In fact, even Oforiatta himself was a very nepotistic king. This is what we say and people don't like. But history is not the respecter of persons. History only tells the truth. Yao Domlevo says he's not interested in anything. He doesn't even want to be paid compensation. But he's so happy that this thing will not happen again. In fact, it has restored a lot of respect to the Supreme Court. In fact, this decision, my brother, my sister, would make a lot of people sit back and say, yes, it looks like the law is beginning to work in this part of the world called Ghana now. Mr. President, I want to ask you two important questions this morning before I leave. What happened to the Al Jazeera threat? Were you just backing? What happened to the Al Jazeera threat? You threatened and they fired back. What happened to the between 40 and 60 million American dollars stolen out of this country in the name of gold trading by Alistair Matthias? May I know, Mr. President, were these just empty threats? Again, Mr. President, how do you feel now that the Supreme Court said that your decision was nothing but hogwash? You are a byword of a president. In fact, now the whole Ghana is going to remember you as an unconstitutional president. A lawyer not worth his salt. A lawyer who became a lawyer by voodoo. Because I don't know how you would call yourself a lawyer and live in the shadow of unconstitutionality. If I were the president, I would resign immediately. In fact, the legal associations right here in Ghana must all come together and petition the president to make a total apology unconditionally to the law profession, because he has become, in fact, a byword, better still, a figment of the imagination, better still, a shadow of the legal profession. It's a dent on the image of lawyers in Ghana and beyond, that you have a lawyer who has risen to the position of a president. And all of a sudden, this is what he's doing. And I hear them say, oh, but Atta Mills also did it in 2009. There was one man that they also wrote to and asked to go on leave. Well, listen, who said Atta Mills was an angel? Who said Atta Mills was an angel? Did you see him with wings? Atta Mills made mistakes. As to whether he intentionally made those mistakes or not, he himself was a law professor. My brother, my sister, at the time that he did that, not making any excuse for him, it wasn't as serious as Domlevo's issue. What happened in the case of Domlevo was nothing but vindictiveness. Of course, not taking any brief for the former president. They made mistakes. Several years down the line, we still want to make the same mistakes and go back and say that, oh, somebody made this mistake 10 years ago, so I'm also going to make the mistake and then we'll go ahead. Are we going or we are coming? This is the Blakk Pot. Now I'm reading this from Ghana Web and it says, Akufo-Addo doesn't pay tax. Domlevo declines suing for damages after SC ruling. Now listen, when you read this story, it's so pathetic and very, very sensational. I am so empathetic of Domlevo. People are pushing him to sue the president. And he's saying, if I sue the president now, and they are even going to pay me some money, it's going to come from the tax coffers of the nation. and Nana Akufo-Addo doesn't pay tax. So it's not going to affect him in any way. Listen to wisdom. Yawo Domelevo, who many people said was not Ghanaian, and that he was Togolese. Yawo Domelevo, who people said he had faked his date of birth. Today is looking at the arrogant president, unconstitutional president, and looking at him in the eye and saying that, listen, Mr. President, you did me a lot of harm. But the harm that you did me cannot even be compared to the harm you did Ghana. I forgive you. But if Ghana wants to forgive you too, it's unto Ghana. But me as an individual, no. I don't sleep and think about you. I will never sue you. Even if I decide to sue you in the nearest unbeknownst future, what happens? If I'm even giving some judgment, debt is going to come from the coffers of the taxpayer. The already hemorrhaged taxpayer of Ghana. You, Mr. President, you don't pay tax. So you are deeply saddling the people of Ghana in more debt and rot. God bless Domelevo, the Togolese. God bless Domelevo, the birth certificate faking Domelevo. God bless Domelevo for exposing this dirty government. As for Osafo Mafo, I cannot wait for that day to sing your dirge of politics. The day you will retire out of politics, which should have been long overdue, that day I will make a song for you. To God be the glory. Yes. Now, this is the other thing I would like us to look at, and we want to look at it quickly. And this one is from my own Tree News. It says, "I sin not by election. Vote for me to return to parliament. Democracy must be restored." And this is a man called Jachikwesin talking. Now listen, this man is not serious. He's not a serious man. You have come to behave unconstitutionally like the president of Ghana. British citizen. British Ghanaian, Ghanaian British, however you want to call it. You came here to pick forms to contest, to be an MP of this great nation. And you knew that before picking up the forms, you needed to be clean in terms of your citizenship. Your excuse is that, oh, you started the process. In fact, you have renounced your citizenship, and the process was ongoing for you to be finally cleared. You won the elections. You betrayed the people of Asin. If NDC is not serious and decides to put this man back, you will smell pepper. You will suffer. This is an unconstitutional guy. And you want to return him to parliament for what? This is a man who should be going to jail. You understand that? I'm hearing that he was not even from the UK, but rather from Canada. Or was it Afghanistan or Japan? Maybe China. Now, if you're a citizen of Canada and a citizen of Ghana, citizen of Japan and Ghana, China, at the time that you're going to pick up your forms, you should drop one so that we will see you clean. You won the elections. You should bow down your head in shame. Look at what happened to Adamu Dramani Sakande. As for him, he was one of the biggest traitors we had in parliament. Whilst he was even sitting in parliament, he was still a British citizen. And when he was finally removed, he ran back to Britain and he became a British citizen again. What a traitor. And you, your case may not be as serious as that of Adamu Dramani Sankande, but you are also culpable. Hear me now, brethren. There's something here that I need to draw your attention to, and it's important. It says what? NDC's Kweksin faces 10 years for perjury. I don't think the people of Asin deserve this kind of nasty treatment. A man who is a jailhouse candidate, you want him to go and run. For what? Because you have no candidates. Please, I don't believe in this dual citizenship thing. Let's be smart. My name is Blakk Rasta. Eric Mawena Egbeta is in the house. And of course, he's holding a bottle of fresh water. Today he's wearing slippers. To God be the glory. He's going to make you relive the news.